So back in 2019, sometime in January, one day before stepping into the gym, a headache started. I started to get this headache and I figured it would go away. People get headaches, right? It just goes away. But it ended up culminating into something called hemicrania continua, which is a headache that starts and never stops. And it's constant and it's debilitating, and it completely derailed my life. After about 6 months of constant pain like that, you start questioning, like, is it worth it? Do I really need to be around for this? If there's no way out, then you start thinking about more permanent ways out. And considering, like, well, if this body and this nervous system is just not capable of producing a tolerable sensation, then what's the point of sticking around with it? So I was inspired to investigate psychedelics like psilocybin as a potential option for me because psilocybin is pretty well known to be effective against cluster headache, which is another headache that is more common headache that is closely related to hemicrania continua. It's not just this big jump or leap of faith, because as soon as you start searching, you come across all of these success stories from people with cluster headaches, as in, okay, they took certain psychedelics and it has either reduced or eliminated their attacks. And I thought, well, if it works for cluster headaches that supposedly affect some of the similar structures in the brain, then what if it works for me? Psychedelics can be a pretty intense and sometimes scary experience. So I started looking into retreats, and I didn't find anything that I was comfortable with. Let's just say I was not comfortable with the crunchy New Age approach, and it was a no-go for me. I did my first psilocybin experience at home in my own bedroom, in just very relaxed container, very relaxed state. And it was quite blissful. It was like full of moments of pure joy and appreciation for the fact that I'm alive and having experiences, which is, yes, in the months leading before that I didn't necessarily really want to be around. So I had this newfound enthusiasm for being around, being conscious, being here. That was almost a full year. I had gone almost a complete year with a constant headache, and that was my first 6 hours out of pain. I repeated it again after 5 days, and then again, repeated again after another 5 days. And it was only after the third dose that I started getting little windows of pain-free time in between doses. And by the fifth dose, those windows of pain-free time had extended to when I was spending all of my time pain-free. I created Eleusinia to be the retreat that wasn't there for me, that I needed in my moment when I was struggling. And so I created it to be what wasn't there when I needed it. I already had pretty deep connections in Mexico, and I was very, very enthusiastic about the idea of renewing my connections with Mexico. And I put together a great team of people that are all very caring and good at what they do. But I also, in putting together the team, I wanted to have variety. I wanted visitors to be able to choose between I wanted visitors to be able to have options, that there wasn't just one way of viewing these experiences, that there are multiple angles. So we have a meditation coach, someone to help learn how to incorporate psychedelic experiences into a meditation practice. We have a nurse who is also trained in psychedelic integration. We have a curandera, which is a traditional practitioner of Mesoamerican healing practices. and with quite a long lineage originating out of Oaxaca. So we have, all these options. Like, there's not just one approach to this. And the base is a solid base of neuroscience. Eleusinia is a retreat that has a big focus on independence and autonomy. A place where someone interested in psilocybin, psychedelics, they can visit and have a more rationalist type of experience. You can expect to walk away with skills and real-world knowledge that applies to psychedelics. Now, whether you're looking to apply that towards improving your mental health, or you're looking to apply that towards managing a pain condition, it applies on both sides. But you could count on leaving this retreat with skills that apply to managing an experience, and also the skills that you would need to produce your own medicine, because we do teach a cultivation course where you learn to grow mushrooms. I would suggest visiting us at Eleusinia if you are looking to give psilocybin the best chance to be successful for you. Because the techniques that we teach, our focus at the retreat is sustainable. And approaching psilocybin as a way of managing mental health or a way of managing physical pain, none of those are permanent fixes. There's always going to be a process, and there's always going to be it's never a one and done. There's no magic cure here. It's always going to be a process. And at Eleusinia, we set you up for that success. We set you up to be independent and to give it your best shot.